The Brandon Peters Show may contain explicit language and detailed plot points. For more information on the show, stay tuned to the end of the episode. And now, here's Brandon.
Welcome back to the old space show. I am Brandon. This is my co-captain, Jim.
Ahoy.
Boy, this installment of Old Space Show continues our episode-by-episode travelogue through the second season of Space 1999, where the moon is knocked out of orbit, wandering through outer space, the population of its human-built colony hoping to stumble upon a new home. Today, we are talking about the 13th episode, Seed of Destruction.
An ice-cold replica of Commander Koenig takes control of the moon and orders its destruction.
This one's directed by Kevin Connor and is written by John Goldsmith.
I wanted to mention Kevin Connor real quick because we talked about him on Brian the Brain because he directed that one as well. He also directed Motel Hell and some other like pretty wild movies. But he directed this movie called Goliath Awaits. It was a made-for-TV movie. It's really bizarre. Christopher Lee is in it and a really young Mark Harmon. And it's about like a Titanic-style ocean liner that gets sunk in 1939. And these people live in an air bubble inside the ship.
Oh.
And they've been living there since 1939. But Robert Forster's in it, John Carradine, Gene Marsh, Emma Samms. It's a made-for-TV movie, but it is just off-the-chain bizarre. If that premise at all like intrigues you, you should check it out.
That premise and the cast.
Yeah. It's for a made-for-TV movie from the early '80s. It's pretty bizarre. So, just wanted to shout that out real quick because that was always a favorite of mine.
Awesome. Yeah, I gotta check that out. Also, the writer Goldsmith, he did the New Avengers, Return of the Saint, Lovejoy, but he I took note. He directed a 1995 TV movie called Catherine the Great, and it starred Catherine Zeta-Jones, Paul McGann and his brothers, Brian Blessed, John Rhys Davies, Mel Ferrer, Omar Sharif, and Jean Moreau. Like that guy got to work with a cast.
And Michael Douglas as the horse.
Oh, but it got to that's
pre-Zorro,
Catherine Zeta-Jones, but
quite a cast.
Quite a cast. So I was just like, well, hey, that guy got a lot of notables to work with in one go here.
Well, it starts off with Koenig and Allen. They're off to go punch an asteroid because they're the testosterone crew.
Right.
There's like this giant shimmering Liberace-like asteroid off in the distance. It looks like it's made of chandelier glass.
True.
And they're going to fly out there and be like, yo, we're going to go check it out. And Alan's like, oh, I want to punch it because, it's Alan. and then they land on it. And it turns out it's a hall of mirrors. So,
yeah, they go into it and they're searching. A reflection of Koenig comes to life and starts like following him through there.
Yeah. And I love the acting here for Landau. When he does Evil Koenig.
Evil Koenig.
It's just, basically, he just holds his eyes a little wider, and he parts his hair on the other side. And I wrote this, like, in the very beginning, it's like, you can tell he's evil because he parts his hair on the other side. And this ends up being a gosh darn plot point at the end of the episode. I'm like, are you kidding me?
I think you messaged me in the middle of it, and you said, ooh, I know he's bad because he's got his part over there. I'm like, oh, just wait. I was like,
they did all but put like the little evil Spock goatee on him, right?
Right, and have a subtitle at the bottom like "Evil Koenig" walking through.
But because of the way Martin Landau plays it, like he looks like he's like this whole episode where he's playing Evil Koenig, he looks like he's like really, really like up on espresso or something. Like he's like, I gave the order. He's like really like Like, look, you're at about 80%. I need you to bring it down to about 20% here. Okay?
Let's just say there's only one person on Alpha. He's convinced he is the real Koenig. So
Right.
He's not doing a heck of a job there. I will note that I did like the surface of this asteroid. It's kind of cool, blue, shiny, and mirrors. Like,
lots of mirrors.
I love old 60s and 70s genre mirror stuff, like from sci-fi to horror to spy movies. They always unsettle and freak me out in some way.
Always makes me think of Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, Enter the Dragon. I believe like Man with the Golden Gun had mirror stuff. Yep. The old, Diana Rigg, Patrick Macnee, Avengers would have freaky stuff with mirrors a lot. Like, it's just it seems easy. It's probably hard as hell to shoot, to not get reflection of camera and stuff in there. But to be fair, there were a little effect of like the mirror reflection taking over, right? Yeah.
Like the mirror like kind of traps Koenig, and then the reflection steps out, and he has that like wide-eyed smile or whatever.
Yes.
Like, that's it. There's like no big like shocking special effect here or whatever. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He walks in, he comes out, and then he like pulls a styrofoam rock right off the wall. It's like, in case we hadn't already figured out, this was Evil Koenig from the hair part and the wild eyes.
They want you to never not think it's Evil Koenig. They want to make it clear that this, in any scene possible, they want to make it clear he's the bad guy. But the episode starts out with a Carter, Koenig, and Maya team up with her running point at headquarters while they're out searching. I'm like, yes, this is my team. This is
all your favorites.
Space 1999.
That's your A roster.
Yeah, that's my A roster for season 2, since we can't have Russell team up with them ever. But
I miss Paul.
Yeah,
I miss Paul.
Paul was the immediate cutoff from
season
2, yeah.
The comforting mullet and mustache of Paul is absent in this season.
Yeah, he calms everyone.
And I mean, they have Sandra, but not Paul.
Yes.
Weird.
So the Evil Koenig stuns the good one, and after taking a sample of rock in the cave, he uses the comm lock to contact Alan and tell him he wants to leave in 5 minutes. He trades jackets with Koenig, but not the hair part.
Right.
So it won't appear reversed, but it
also becomes a plot point later.
It does,
which is crazy. But this is where he starts to be a total dick too, right?
Right. Yeah.
Like Alan's like, well, I'm trying to fix the capacitor, mate. Blah blah, Vegemite, whatever, and Koenig's like, no, 5 minutes, get it done.
Yeah, it's like, he returns to the Eagle despite Maya's request to delay liftoff to clarify some sensor readings. Just rushes back to Alpha and declares that the base is being held in an energy screen that will render Alpha's instruments useless. He's like, yeah, and she's like, it's a strange reading. He's like, the whole asteroid is one strange reading. And like, okay, I guess we're fine then, crew. Like, nobody questions. Like, the whole asteroid is one strange reading.
He breaks it all down, and then Maya's like, but, let me do the reading. He's like, no, are you questioning me, woman?
And like, you might think Jim's being extreme, but he's not. Like,
no, I'm
this
not.
Guy, he's swinging in a whole nother direction. Like, not smooth at all. Like
it gave me a little bit of present day cringe to see how hard he was yelling at her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes. This guy initiates construction of an energy beam to be aimed at the asteroid and reflected back to break the energy screen's hold on Alpha. But Maya questions it, and he's like, "Go to your quarters.
Yeah,
get out of here."
He yells at Alan and Tony and Sandra. He just yells at all of them, and he's like, "I want to build a giant." I'm putting up air quotes with my fingers now. Space laser.
Right. Yes.
You destroy it.
Yes.
He confides my. He threatens Tony and Alan, and he's just like just kicking ass, everybody just yelling at them. He's like, "No, we have to build this now. Here's what we have to build. We need to do it." And they're like, "But you're gonna mess up our life support and stuff." He's like, "Don't care. Do it now." And nobody's questioning this at all.
Yeah. And the funny thing is,
at this point anyway,
Helena is like immediately knows something's up. She suggests he's like possessed or has a virus, and Alan's like, he must have discovered some other danger inside those caves, and he doesn't want us to know about it.
Alan is such a suck up in this episode. It takes forever for him to realize that it's not the real Koenig, you know?
Like the fake Koenig could go, I'm not the real Koenig. I am an imposter. And he'd be like, why are you lying, sir?
You know, he'd say that? The real Koenig.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So everyone's shocked at his behavior. Tony visits Maya. We get to see Maya's quarters.
Yeah, and Tony does the worst Cary Grant impression ever here.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking about mutineers. Judy. I'm like, dude,
yeah.
Don't. Unless you can do a really good impression, don't.
I know she has like a microscope set in her room. Like,
yeah.
Always on the clock.
She's sciencey, dude.
Yeah. Tony actually has a bold idea of let's take an eagle and go investigate. But I'm like, oh, wait, no, he's power hungry. He wants to he doesn't want to prove there's another Koenig. He's like, I want to declare medically incompetent because guess who takes over? Tony. That's why.
Tony in control.
So the possibility that Koenig could be declared medically unfit for command is discussed, but they decide that only Helena would be able to give him that guidance. When asked, Helena is not confident that Koenig couldn't be doing what he says for exactly the reasons he says.
And I know this is like another thing, and the way he treated Helena, you'd think she'd be number one to be like, "Hey, something's not right here," right? Because they made such a big deal this season about the connection between her and John.
It's deep,
and how they're in love and stuff. They've totally gone deep into that this season. And yet here you'd think she'd be the first one to notice something wrong. And she's just like, well, he could have his reasons, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm just like, oh, come on, man.
Right.
Come on.
Meanwhile, back at the asteroid,
oh man, I love
a flashy green light called Calthon.
Calthon, take me away.
That a black sun began to drain energy from his people's world, but they managed to survive by reducing the essence of their world into a seed, a microcosm in suspended animation, waiting to be reborn. They need Alpha's energy stores to return the heart of Calthon to life, a process which Mira Koenig is setting in motion back in Alpha.
Two things about this sequence. First of all, the aliens communicate totally in kaleidoscope.
Right.
Every time they talk to Koenig, it's a kaleidoscope with Martin Landau holding the sides of his head. There is no escape. There is no escape for you. You are. Yeah, I'm like, it's almost like it was on a loop. Like every time it's like, there is no escape for you. There is no escape, over and over and over. And then the second thing is this whole thing about them coming into this thing and regenerating and coming back out or whatever reminds me very much of last week's episode.
Yeah. I put that
chrysalis or whatever.
I put another. We need the life force / body / energy of Alpha's population to keep ours alive / revived / fed / energized.
Spoiler alert! You're going to be using the same line in the next episode too. But this is also another one of those alien groups that are beyond your concept of morals.
Right.
Okay, sure.
The Mira Koenig oversees the construction of the energy reflector. Helena visits him to try to ascertain what's wrong with him. She asks to have him to have a medical examination. He tells her that he has no time. She says she could order him to, and he asks her if she thinks he would do anything to risk the lives of Alphans. She takes his hand, and it's cold. She tries to cover her reaction, but barely manages not to run from the room. She tells Tony and Maya what happened, and they decide they need to examine a sample of the rock that Koenig, in quotes, brought back from the asteroid.
Right. And how are we going to do this?
We transform into a blonde crew member with a low-cut uniform.
That's right. You roll in there and then you shoot a piece of the rock off with your big gun. But there's two guards right on the other side of the door. But that's okay. It's cool.
Right.
And you know what? I did mention something about Maya's microscope. It looks like one of those 1950s microscopes.
Right. Yeah.
With the double things. We're fighting polio in every way, shape, and form. Look here in the microscope as the immunization fights the disease. It looks like that kind of microscope. It's not super spacey
vintage,
or whatever. Yeah.
Vintage. Just like when, the Kirk's glasses that he gets for his birthday. They're vintage ones. They like in space. They like stuff from the time the show was made in the future thing.
Well put.
So yeah, she turns into that. She learns that it was once living matter that has had the energy drained from it to leave it in a dormant state, like a seed waiting to be reborn. Back on the asteroid, Koenig shoots out a mirror and gets trapped within.
But he also, this is also where there is no escape. You are trapped. There is no escape, like over and over. And the thing is, we've also had this rock is alive thing business before, haven't we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. With the episode with, oh God, I just had it. Now I lost it. It'll come back to me. But yeah, we had this thing before where where they were mining.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Mining under, Moonbase Alpha, the same thing. Oh, the rock is alive. Oh, no, duh. We figured that out. The audience figured that out a half hour ago.
Right. Yeah. No, I have to say, though, during this part, they have the creepy, repetitive line shouting, kaleidoscope effects, evil laughing, nightmare fun. Yeah. I was like, this kind of nightmare funhouse rock is my kind of show.
It's like, what is this? I accidentally put on the monkey's head or something.
Right. Yes.
Like, what's going on here?
Oh gosh. So Tony and Maya attempt to convince Alan that something is wrong with Koenig.
God, this is so good. This is my favorite part of the whole episode. I'm sorry.
Alan is convinced it is nothing more than stress due to the danger he discovered on the asteroid.
Tony calls him a dumb blind kangaroo. I'm so funny. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to blow the reveal. But it's so hilarious. I literally laughed out loud when I saw it.
Oh, yeah. We're talking about Koenig here. You remember John Koenig?
Oh, can't you see what you're doing, you dumb blind kangaroo?
In my book cover, your kind of help is mutiny.
Big show.
Big show. Yeah.
But Alan is such an authority suck up. Oh
yeah, it's like he is 100% double down on wrong because that's my side. They asked for his help.
Ride or die.
Right. He won't get him an eagle, but Tony and Maya procure one and head for the asteroid. The mirror Koenig is alerted and orders it shot down. Alan refuses because he knows who took it.
Mirror fries.
Right.
And then there's also a part where they get caught by a guard where they're trying to get the eagle, and Maya turns into that like slee stack thing that we saw a couple episodes ago.
Yeah.
That could deal with the chlorine gas. The same
right.
scene, they reused it. And every once in a while on the show, they love to break into the action jazz in an action sequence, and this was it. There was like this awesome jazz solo as they're stealing the eagle.
Yeah,
they have like this whole sequence where like they're lingering over like Koenig is lingering over the button to Koenig's like, shoot it out of the sky, shoot it, and Alan's almost crying and Koenig's finger is lingering over the button, and they keep doing these sweaty close-ups.
Yeah,
like Koenig, Alan, Helena, Sandra, back to Koenig. The sequence like goes on forever.
Well, they had like the evil Koenig's like, some people may die, some people. Not all the people. And then I put that there were goblin-esque parts of the score that then turned into some sort of like whack jazz.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, this guy sounds like Goblin. And I was like, whoa, what is it? Where did we go here? Like, I also noted that Sandra has a decent role in this episode.
Yeah.
She actually does some interesting stuff. So the eagle gets out there with the laser beam pointed down there. So it's got a sort of a minty fresh flavor on the surface when they land. I did notice. Did you notice it was laser gun control was a box that was labeled?
Yes, it was prominently, even though we've never seen the laser gun before.
Right.
I was trying to remember an episode where we saw the laser gun before, and I can't.
Yeah, so. And Carter actually defies fake Koenig, and Helena has to talk him down.
Right. Helena makes up some bullshit excuse.
Yes, and so Tony and Maya, they find Koenig trapped within the mirror in the asteroid, and Maya, upon seeing Koenig, immediately deduces the plot of the episode.
Right. Like it explains it all.
Explains like, oh, that's what this is. Like what? What? Oh, okay.
And then Koenig has the awesome plan here. Okay. I'm going to take the eagle back by myself to Alpha. You two stay here and figure out how to deal with this.
Right. Yeah, he has him search for the heart of Chalfon.
Like, wait a minute, are you sure you're not evil, Koenig?
Because they got to destroy it with sound.
Right.
Because you can smash a mirror with a high frequency, so you can kill a being from a mirror with a high frequency.
I love it because the sequence is great because Koenig's like, okay, Tony, Maya, you stay here and take out the heart of Chalfon. I'll go back to the Alpha by myself, and we'll come back and get you, right? So he takes off and leaves them there, and this whole place is falling down around them, and they immediately get trapped in a mirror. Like,
right.
Almost the next scene is like, boom, they're trapped in a mirror.
Yeah. And Koenig returns the time to countermand his reflections ordered to transfer a critical amount of power to his energy beam. And Mirror Koenig tries to convince the Alphans that he is the real one because the lettering on John's jacket is backward. But John's like, hey, he switched jackets, but guess he forgot one major detail. The part in his hair.
Bum, bum, bum.
I am the real Koenig. No, I am the real Koenig.
There's no way he could have combed his hair the way I did.
I have to say that moment, this showdown was so damn goofy. I couldn't help but love it.
Oh my God. And the best part of it was Koenig, like, Helena, you must know that he cannot know what we have shared.
Yes.
I'm like, oh, bye.
Ooh.
I didn't need to know that either.
So, yeah, Alan shoots the Mirror Koenig. It has no effect, but then they activate the sound capable of destroying the crystal, which frees Maya and Tony. Yeah. And while the reflection of Koenig shatters before their eyes, leaving only a pile of crystalline material behind, which I guess is our end credits stinger joke.
Like,
is this our joke? Like, ha, he died.
It seemed like there was a sequence missing here.
Yeah.
Like there should have been like, footage missing sign that came up because there was no, epilogue like they usually have the clip at the end. They don't, you don't know how Maya and Tony got back because they're on like an exploding crystal asteroid. But
I assume they make it back.
Sure, I guess they're in the next episode, so they must.
Yeah. Oh my. I thought this one was pretty fun, as goofy as some of it was. I did enjoy some of the direction and camera work and lighting in it. But this is on a campy, goofy, fun side. If you like reverse people and like a show thinking it's maybe too smart for its audience when it's not at the same time.
I'm reading this here. Martin Landau emphatically believed that his left profile was superior to his right, and was notorious for insisting any scene he appeared in be set up to capture him only from that side. Director Kevin Conner recalled in this episode, Landau allowed himself for the first time to be filmed in right profile, but only provided that he was playing his evil replica.
Thank you, Martin. I like this one. They use Maya in, different way where she changes into a crew member doing some like spy stuff. Like that's pretty cool because normally it's just like I'm a monster or I'm a rat to fit in this tunnel.
And as much as the trope is done in TV shows of the evil doppelganger or whatever, this was a decent way to do this.
Yeah, and they could have done more of them, but they just did Koenig.
Right.
But that's fine.
It worked out. It's all they could afford to part on the one side of the hair or the other, man. If it was two of them, it would have gone over budget.
Right.
No.
Right. Okay. Well, that'll do it for another Moon Buggy adventure. And in the meantime, Jim, where can people find you?
Oh, I can't be found. I'm the wind, baby. No, hhwlod.com. You can listen to me on the Walking Dead TV podcast. We're on hiatus now until February when the show comes back. We've covered every single episode of the main show, Fear the Walking Dead and Walking Dead World Beyond. So if you want to catch up on those shows, you can always listen to our podcast and listen along and that kind of stuff. And then every week I'm on Nothing's On the Taylor Network of Podcast.com with Donnie Salvo and Daryl Taylor. We talk about the week's worth of entertainment news, break everything down for you in our own knuckleheaded way. So hope you enjoy that too.
All right. # parting ways. And I'm on Twitter and Instagram at Brandon4KUHD, written work at WeiselBlue.com. There's more from the Brandon Peters Show this week, but until then,
Moonbase Alpha out.
Thank you for listening. The Brandon Peters Show is a Creative Zombie Studios production. Produced by Brad Shoemaker and Brandon Peters. Written and edited by Brandon Peters. Announcer vocals by Jessica Alsman. Theme song by Metavari. Web design and show art by Brad Shoemaker with Brandon Peters. All music and clips featured in the episode are property of their respective studios, and no infringement is intended. Additional information on this and other episodes at BrandonPetersShow.com. For any inquiries, press opportunities, or sponsorship, contact mail at BrandonPetersShow.com. The show is available on Apple Music, Spotify, or anywhere podcasts are found.